it's Chef Rob. Today we're going to make harvest apple brownies. No chocolate, but you won't miss the chocolate because I have cinnamon and apples in there, but it has a brownie texture. That's where we come up with the name Brownies in this. Okay, so watch this recipe. Please don't change anything in it because you'll really like it. I'm going to start by using the dry ingredients first. I'm going to take 1 cup of the all-purpose flour. Make sure that it's nice and full, and then just level it off. Just a little bit more. Okay, perfect. 1 teaspoon of the baking powder. Make sure you keep this in a cool place, cool dark place. It will last longer for you. And now 1 teaspoon of the ground cinnamon. If you like a little more cinnamon, you can go a little bit higher. Okay, cinnamon always tastes really good, doesn't it? Okay, and then 1/4 teaspoon of salt. Never leave out the salt because that will bring all the flavors in this together. And make sure it is the 1/4 teaspoon. Okay, we're just going to mix this up. And it'll be time to do our wet ingredients. Just make sure it's really blended well. You can either take a wire whisk or just make sure you're doing it really good with your wooden spoon. I'm going to use a 1/2 cup softened butter. I took this out about an hour and a half ago, so it is nice and squeezable. Okay, it's unsalted butter. 1/2 cup is 1 stick. Just going to put that in here. And then I want 1 full cup of the granulated sugar, and do take that full cup because that will matter on the moisture and the texture of your apple brownies. Okay, so we're just going to dump that in here. You could take an electric mixer, or since there's not too much in here, it's nice and soft, the butter. I'm just going to take it, since I have gloves on, I'm just going to mash this around, and I want to get all that sugar gone. I just want to cream the butter and sugar together. And it's so little that you might as well not have anything to clean later. Okay? But make sure you get all that sugar at the bottom here. When we bake these, we're going to bake these in a 350 oven for about 30 to 35 minutes. Keep your eye on them. You're going to put them on the bottom rack, and you're going to put a piece of aluminum foil on the rack above, and that will prevent it from getting too dark too quickly. Okay? Okay, very good. Took about 4 minutes just to kind of mix this butter and sugar around. I'm now going to put in a teaspoon of the pure vanilla extract. And then 1 egg, 1 large egg. Make sure you bring it to room temperature. That way it incorporates a lot easier. I'm just going to take this, beat the egg around. I'm going to mix this up a little bit. And now I'm going to take some half and half. I'm using 1/4 cup of half and half. Make sure you do use the half and half because heavy cream, the batter won't come out really good, and neither will milk. So half and half really matters. And not the fat-free stuff. I'm just going to add this in here. You could take a whisk, or you could just kind of paddle this round until it kind of all comes together. Takes about a minute. And then we're going to add the dry ingredients into the wet. And then we're going to cut up our apples. Okay, that is good. And now let's take our mixed dry ingredients. Slowly put them in there. But you do want to make sure that you go up against the wall of the bowl and make sure it's all incorporated. Never mix the batter too much. It can really change the consistency of the baked good that you are doing. So very important. If you see there's just a little powder, I want to get that, and then I am going to stop. Okay, that is some nice batter right there. Time to peel some apple, chop it up, add it into the brownie. You can add 1 to 2 apples. I think that is more than enough, depending on the size of the apple. I am using the Granny Smith apples. When you get all the different fall apples from upstate and Long Island, try the different ones and mix it up, and you can add this into these brownies and it will make it really, really good. I'm just going to cut the 2 ends off here. And over here, leave this cord. You can always eat that later. I'm just going to cut it into little pieces just like that. So you're going to be able to taste the apple in each bite, but they're small enough too that you're not getting a big chunk. But this brownie is a preference. If you like big chunks of the apples, leave big chunks. You like it small, don't want such a big apple flavor in each bite, cut them a little smaller. So we are going to mix this into the batter. As soon as it is mixed into the batter, we're going to spray our pan. That is good. We just fold this in. As soon as the apple is in, we're ready to put it in the pan and then right into the oven. Just want the apple nice and coated with the batter. Perfect. So when you are spraying the pan, do it from a distance. Have the can away from it, and you just want it very lightly. If you could see, it is not greasy on the bottom. It just has a little shine, and that is it. If you put too much in there, or you can see a little puddle, wipe some out, because otherwise you taste it and it goes into your brownie. You don't want to taste that in your brownie. Okay, so we're going to take this batter right here. You could put this into a 9x7 or even a 9x9 pan. And this one, as you see, I am using a round pan. If you want it to look like the traditional brownies, of course, a square pan would do. Always make sure that your batter is really even, because you want it to cook really even. Okay, so spread that out really good. Try not to open the oven, as it's very important that the temperature doesn't keep dropping and going up and dropping and going up. So try just at the very end to look at it, and that would be it. These are going to be so good. These are really good with some ice cream warmed up on the side. Make sure you get that batter on the side and just kind of drop it in there. A few ways that you could change this. You could put dried cranberries in here. You could put raisins in. Chopped up nuts. Walnuts would be perfect in a batter like this. And again, you're going to bake this 350 oven for about 30 to 35 minutes. If it is a 9x9, chances are in about the 30 minutes it will be done. Okay, a toothpick will tell you if it's done or not. One of the things with butter, sometimes we don't use all the butter and you don't want it to go bad on you. It will turn bad, but it will freeze really good up to a year. So if you have extra butter, you're not going to use it soon, put it in the freezer. If you ever get a stick of butter and it's been in your refrigerator and you see different colors in it, some light, some darker, you'll know that that butter is old, okay, and is really not going to be good for you. Okay, so this is going to go in the oven and you'll see what it looks like in a minute. So our harvest apple brownies are done. They took about 30 minutes, nice and warm, really good to eat when it's that warm, and serve it with some ice cream. Perfect for Thanksgiving all through the fall. I hope you enjoyed this recipe, and I hope you make it with your family. Bye-bye.